All right, so here we go. We are going to delve into concepts, and I'm gonna break these up, and I am gonna use some neck diagrams as I do this and play through this as well. But I want to preface this because I'm not going to go through every single one of the exercises that's in book 3 or book 4. Okay? I'm going to lay the concept out, and then if you've got the books, you'll have access to all these different exercises. And remember, repetition is the way to get this stuff. So that's the reason for the exercises. And that's another reason why books 3 and 4 are so thick. I mean, book 3 is like around 270 pages. It's a thick book. And by the way, I know I've said this before, but here is book 3. And I took my book 3 to Kinko's and had them put a spiral binding on it. It cost me $4. All right. If you want to do that, it's a great little trick. Again, Amazon does not allow or offer spiral binding for click to print books. I wish they did. I'd offer it in a heartbeat, but I'm a little minnow in a gigantic ocean of whales. So that's just a side note. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about 3 connecting patterns, and we're going to borrow chord shapes and partial chord shapes from each of these chordal patterns that we've used in book 2. And I'm going to start a little bit up the neck because I'm just talking about shapes now. I'm not necessarily talking about the chord I'm playing. I could do that, and I will, but here we go. All right, so here's the D shape, using it as a D chord. Here's a partial C shape as a D chord. Here's another partial C shape. And here would be a classic E shape from set 3, but now it's on set 4. Okay? So those are the 4 connecting shapes I'm going to use for this section of these exercises. So I've got, okay? And what I'm going to do initially is we're going to run a mini scale. What I mean by that is we're going to go root through 5. Why? Because we're building on top of what we had before. Remember, we did the exercise in fifths, then we did the exercise in fourths, and we saw that 3 to 4 half-step relationship. Well, now we're going to go root through 5. So everything's going to be a whole step relationship except the 3 to 4, okay? So here I am playing my D shape as a D chord, and now I'm breaking out of the shape, and I'm going to run a scale. And what I just did is I went root 2, 3, 4, 5, another 5 that's part of the chord shape, and I play my chord. All of those notes are within 4 frets of each other, and that's why we chose them, okay? Now I'm going to go to the next one. Again, we're looking for all these numbers within 4 frets of each other. So here I am, and I'm going to go root 2, octave of a 2, 3, 4, 5, low note of the chord, happens to be a 3. See what I'm doing? I'm running root through 5, everything that's available within 4 frets. Now this one, next one is really straight ahead because it's a root position voicing. Remember the first one was a second inversion. This second chord shape I played was a third inversion. And now this third shape I'm playing on set 3 is a root position. Here's my root. And I'm going to go root 2, 3, 4, 5. Low note of the chord. So you see what I'm doing? I'm running a numeric numbering system around the shape, and then I'm playing the low note of the chord to hear the voicing again. Remember, they originally, in book 1, called these slash chords. If it's the 3rd in the bottom or the 5th in the bottom, those are inversions. That's a first inversion or a second inversion. Well, if you look at them as chords, they have like C/E. That would be a first inversion voicing, but slash chords are a slang term. Inversions and root position are the better way music theory-wise to talk about voicings. All right. So last one here is a back to a second inversion voicing. And now I'm going to go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay. Whenever you see these four shapes tied together, this is how it's going to pan out. And that I would call the D-C shape. Okay? We're combining chord shapes. You know, I did grab a classic E shape here on set 4, but really I could play a C chord back here, right, and do the same thing. In fact, if I did that, I would be using open strings, which is something you want to do. Because when you use open strings, you force your mind to think of those open strings as just as viable of the shape as the strings that you're actually fingering. And it does make a difference. Let me just do it real quick. Here's a C using the D shape. Here's a C using partial C. Right? So both of those, I had open strings. Open E, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 chord. Root 2, open 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's an open 1, 2, root 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 open strings. And lastly, the classic E shape on set 4. Okay, that's the first grouping. We're going to do 2 more groupings, and then we're going to talk about how all these groupings tie in together in the exercises. So we'll be done with this video, and we'll move into the next video. Thanks for watching this video. Again, I'm Phil Olson. To purchase the Awesome Guitar Series, click on the link below. It'll take you to Amazon. You can see full descriptions of each one of the volumes. After you've made your purchase and you receive them, go home and practice.